Thanks for tuning in to Chords Los Angeles. I'm your host, Marc Vachon. Today I'll be taking you through how to make a pair of jeans. So let's get started. So as we all know, our pants have both fronts and backs. Today we're going to get started with the front panels and how to sew the zipper fly. So what we're doing here is attaching the zipper to the shield and also adding the underlining. So we take our zipper from the top of the zipper tape and we measure down. Just above the stopper is where we mark. Then we're going to attach from here to here. So I'm leaving about a little more than a 1/4 inch seam allowance right here. So we stitch from our mark down. Back stitch. Okay, so this is our shield, and so what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half and we're going to stitch along these edges here. Then once we're done, we're going to overlock these edges here. So what you'll have is a piece that looks like this. Now we're going to take our zipper and we're going to attach it to the shield now. So we're placing the zipper on the shield. We're leaving about a 1/4 inch between the tape and the shield, and we're going to stitch Now we've taken the underlying part and we've also overlocked this edge to give us a clean finish so that when we attach it, everything will look right. So taking the underlying piece, we're putting it face to face. We're going to place a couple of pins. And we're going to stitch it starting at the bottom and continuing all the way up. Then we pull our pins, we flip, and we add a top stitch with everything on the bottom facing towards the left. We go right on top and you give yourself about an 1/8 in. So now we're going to switch out our foot to a zipper foot, which makes life a little bit easier. And we're going to attach our zipper. Now what we do here is on the opposite side of the front, we take the zipper part, we stick it here, then we take our piece with the zipper applied to the shield, and on the opposite side we're going to attach it. So I like to add a pin just to make sure that we keep everything placed properly, and then start sewing. Then we add our top stitch. And this is what we have. So this particular part is really important. because you want your pants to line up right, and you don't want to have a space when you close, and finish it up. So here's an idea of what it looks like. And we'll pin it and continue. Okay, so here's what I do, and this usually works out best. I take this part, put it up to here. You want to make sure that you're not going to have any space in between. So I overlap it just a little, then I pin. So we've got our fronts pinned, and here's what we do. You want to make sure that the shield is out of the way, and you want to pin your zipper to the underlying piece just to keep everything lined up properly. Then we're going to sew the zipper to the underlying piece. Now, moving the shield out of the way and the zipper attached to the underlying part, we stitch the zipper to the underlying part, which will attach to the pant panel. Now, still keeping the top pinned, I'd like to flip, move the shield out of the way. We've sewn the zipper to the underlying part. Now we're going to pin the underlying part to the panel. So now what we're going to do is attach the underlying part, which is the J, which is how you get the J stitch on the top, you'll see. We're going to move the shield out of the way. We're going to flip it and begin stitching. So you can feel along the way where the curve is, or if you need to, you could take chalk or a pen and you can get that. So what happens is I stop before the seam because otherwise you're going to hit the zipper stopper. Now I'm going to come in from the opposite direction. And usually just turn it with my hand in case I get close to the stopper, because again, we don't want to break a needle. Then I come in on the top and we put a nice little stay stitch in, which keeps everything in place. It's also a good idea to take these pieces and just put a nice little tack on the corner to keep everything together. Then I pull the pins, and I like to add a nice little top stitch here on the edge, just for a more finished kind of a look. Okay, so here's what I do, and this usually works out best. I take this part, put it up to here. You want to make sure that you're not going to have any space in between. So I overlap it just a little, then I pin. And so then here's our fronts, adding in a front zipper fly. Thanks again for tuning in. We hope you liked it. Share this with your friends. We hope you can subscribe. And we'll see you again in the next segment on how to add that front pocket.